Welcome back to my story time channel, everybody. Today's not going to actually be a story time, but I wanted to make this video a part 2 to understanding breakthroughs. And let me turn the TV down a little bit because I might be distracted. I hope everybody is doing well. I jotted down just a few little notes, some things that I didn't say in the first video because I felt like that one was kind of rushed. Also, this one I'm feeling like is kind of like I feel like rushing through it because I have a meeting to go to in just a little while. But I wanted to just quickly say a few points that I didn't put in part 1 about understanding the process of a breakthrough. Sometimes we lack the understanding of the process of a breakthrough. In my last video I was saying people are making a lot of breakthrough videos. They get a ton of views. They get a ton of views because people are so desperate to be in a better place. Those kind of breakthrough videos, like, they get so many views, and I find a lot of the information has some truth to it, and then some of it, it's like really in a gray area because you don't want to tell somebody to do this, say this, turn this way, turn that way, and you'll receive your breakthrough in 5 days. To me, that's very misleading. It's very misleading. Our entire lives, we are going through processes, because remember I said in my other videos, there are processes to everything. So to tell somebody to do this and in this amount of days you'll receive your breakthrough, and like I said, a lot of the videos that I was watching, I intentionally watched those videos. I almost felt like I was, after like the 5th video, I felt like I was like binge watching these videos because a lot of the videos, they did have some truth to it, but some things it's like leaning towards witchcraft in a way, and you don't want to lean that way because that is going to bring you sorrow, and anything that God is bringing to you, it's not going to bring you any sorrow. The process normally, it typically is longer, I would say, but it's not going to bring you any sorrow. When he brings you out on the other side, you'll be much wiser. Your discernment will be a lot stronger. You will never ignore your intuition. You will very seldom procrastinate. Like, he builds your character just such to be the very best character who he knows who he made you to be, right? So and some of the notes that I just jotted down because I didn't want to forget this, because sometimes when I get in front of the camera I really forget. Even in my story times, I'll forget certain parts of the stories, and definitely timelines, because in a lot of my story times, the story times are generally, they're usually kind of old. So in this, when I'm talking about breakthroughs, I don't usually talk about breakthroughs, I don't think so. I wanted to write down a few things. Sometimes when we're going through hardships, a lot of times people, just in life, just in general, they'll say, what are we doing to bring these hardships to us? Absolutely nothing. I used to think the same way, like, what am I doing to attract such bad people in my life, or such annoying, all these hardships coming to me? Like, why? You don't understand. Because we're actually taught just the opposite in life. Be a good person, do good things come to you. And it's not just so simple like that. It's not black and white like that, right? Most of it's actually, it's not black and white like that. It's not so simple. When you think that you're doing something to attract bad things to happen to you, it's not. These, a lot of times, are tests from God, which he promises to test us. A lot of times he allows the enemy to do certain things to us because he's trying to wake us up. He needs us to know that he's light, and the light that is within us, he is within us, and he knows that we can learn. And my goodness, I feel like certain lessons I took a long time to learn, just because just being afraid of the unknown and things like that. So a lot of times I was in my hardships for longer than I needed to be, just because just taking that leap. I take a lot of leaps now. Sometimes I fall, sometimes I don't. But earlier in the stages, when you're first in school with God, and I hope this is not even a sin to say that, but when you are on your journey in life, in the beginning, it's really hard to take those leaps because sometimes you fall, sometimes it's scary, you don't know what to expect. We have conditioned thinking, so we're thinking in our conditioned ways. It's a lot. So yeah, we're not actually attracting bad things to happen to us. Sometimes God allows these things to happen because he wants us to learn certain lessons in life. And there are different lessons for all of us, and there are different hardships for all of us. Although we are all one, but there's still, I'm sure you guys know, there are different hardships for everybody. Breakthroughs could include losing a family member, losing a child, losing a spouse, having no money at all. And then I know that a lot of times we say that God feeds the birds and he'll feed us. Sometimes he does not feed us, and I hope I'm not getting, you know, astaghfirullah if this is wrong to say, but sometimes we go without. There are people who live on the streets and their basic human needs are not being met, and God is with them as well. He's with them as well. Where a person needs shelter, you need shelter, you know. If you're a person without a car and you sleep on the streets, you need shelter. Even if you're in your car, that's still, a car is not a home. That's not a house, it's not a home. You, like, my goodness. There are days that people go for days without food, and maybe they've had a cigarette, or maybe they've had something to drink or something like that. There are different levels to struggles. God wants all of us to learn through each struggle that he may give us. No matter what it is, he wants us to learn through it. So while you're learning, you're having small breakthroughs, and if you are I don't want to say blessed enough, if you are a person who is trying to be aware of what's going on, you will start learning your lessons, and you will start to see miracles actually happen for us every single day, even if it's just his protection, meaning that it's rejection. And I don't want to use the word rejection really lightly, because rejection hurts. It hurts. Like, it could take you to a downward spiral, because you won't understand. Like, you want something just so simple in life, just the simplest thing that you can think of, and when you make an effort to try and get that thing and the answer is no, or not now, that hurts. And it could just be the simplest thing. Maybe you have a brother you haven't spoken to in a long time and you can't find his number. I don't know if that's what kind of example that was, but I'm trying to think of something small, but that may be a really big thing for somebody. And all throughout life, we really do receive breakthroughs, but we have to learn and understand what the breakthrough is, and the quicker we learn, the quicker we can get through it. But typically a breakthrough, like I said in my last video, it takes a lot of crushing. It's a lot of pain. You go through a lot of pain, and a lot of times through your journey, you will have less and less family members, you will have less and less friends, and then also you have the desire to even be with other people on a regular basis. And I'm not talking about school and work and just normal life things. I'm talking about just being really social. That desire actually becomes less and less. Like, you don't even care to go to baby showers and after work parties and things like that. Just spiritually, you're being built up, and you just don't have the time to be picking up on all those people's energy and having to keep a wall up to hope that people are not trying to get in your business, or hope that people are not bringing other people's business to you. It's just, there's a whole lot to it. So the breakthroughs are on so many levels, and we're receiving breakthroughs all the time. We go through hardships all the time. Some of us have such hardships that we only have our faith to lean on. You only have that faith to lean on. So I want to suggest to anybody, how long am I? 8 minutes. I want to suggest to anybody who feels like they want to be in a better place in life, you do not need to go in a building. You do not need, God hears you wherever you are. You do not need to go in a specific building. And then, like I said, I try not to be too religious. I really don't like that. Because I feel like that can really get you lost. It really can. Like, it's just, too much comes along with it. God hears you where you are, and the only thing that you absolutely need is just a relationship with him. Just talk with him every single day and look for little answers and symbols and signs. And like I said, a lot of times it's not now. And if it's not good for you, and you feel like it's good for you, but it's not good for you, he's not going to give it to you. Still, he's not going to give it to you if he knows this is not a good thing for you at that time. The waiting game is not easy. It's not easy at all. And like I said, a lot of times people can fall into just straight not believing in God at all, because they're feeling like, I'm a good person. How could this be happening to me? How could I be losing everything? My health is, you know, down to zero. And that is, a lot of times some people can feel that way because we're conditioned to think just the opposite. And that is a hard barrier to push through when we human beings in the world are conditioned to thinking a certain way, and then everything in life that is happening to you is the exact opposite. that is one of the main reasons why a lot of people become atheists, because we're just conditioned to think one way, and then when that doesn't happen and now you're 70 years old, a lot of times you can grow disappointed, and you're just like, yeah, you grow disappointed. But maybe I should look at my notes, since I feel like I'm kind of going off track of what I wanted to say. Not that what I said was a bad thing, but I did want to add a couple of things. Why didn't I just write this on a normal sized piece of paper? I wrote this. Oh, also, a lot of people nowadays are born to mentally or spiritually ill parents, and I don't really even say nowadays. I could probably date this back to like 40 years back, maybe 50 years back. People are born into severe poverty and born to parents that are already mentally or just spiritually ill people, and then their hardships start even just from a little kid, and God's with those little kids who are born into situations that are just awful situations, really bad. And if they have a relationship with God, even in their adulthood, he could give them whatever it was that he wanted them to have, because he knows what kind of person he created. God is the creator of everything, and the creation will never ever be greater than the creator. He put certain things inside of us, and if you keep that relationship with him and you stay with him long enough, even with him hardly giving you anything, and the only reason why you're alive is just because you didn't pass away, but you actually have nothing. When you have that relationship with him and you talk with him, and he blesses you on your intentions, not what other people are looking at and seeing, that does not matter. I've learned in life, doesn't matter what you look like, what you're doing, what you're saying, God always blesses you on your intentions. So I think what I was trying to say is, you keep your relationship with God. I don't care what you call God. You have that relationship with him, he is going to give you exactly what you need, the exact huge blessing that you need, and the character that he's building you along the way through those hardships, it will be perfect for the gift that he has for you to handle. And then when he gives you your huge gift, because he'll give it to you when you stick with him, he expects you to help other people with it. Even if you just become like a motivational speaker, and tell people about your journey and help them along their journey, so they won't have to go through years and years of that hardship. And those are the shortcuts, when you actually talk to somebody who's actually been through awful hardships and things like that. So yeah, and I feel like I don't want to make this video longer than 15 minutes. Sometimes I don't like to make long videos. I don't know why, because I don't watch my videos, so I don't know why I care about making long videos. But let's see what else I have here. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. I'll put these other things here, but I think I pretty much kind of touched on everything that I wanted to say. But yeah, in life, we're going to be tested, and just because you are doing the right thing doesn't always mean that the right things are going to be happening to you. This is all to build your character. He needs you to act and have a certain character about yourself, so that he can give you whatever gift he wants to give you, and then you are prepared to handle the gift that he wants to give you. And a lot of times that comes through the hardships, and when you break through those hardships, your level goes higher, higher, higher. That's why people say from glory to glory. But in between are those hardships. And even when you are in life in a comfortable place, you will still have some tests and trials that you have to break through to get to the next level. But we all can do it, but every single person, you need to have that relationship with God. It doesn't cost you anything. You can start right now. You just need to have that relationship with God. So I just wanted to make that part 2 of my breakthrough video, and I'll be back with another story time, inshallah, God willing. Everybody take care, and I will talk to you later.